Welcome back to CBS This Morning.
This week, after winning the latest Republican primaries, Mitt Romney said he is now focused on the November election. So is President Obama, with his re-election campaign announcing he'll speak at 2 campaign rallies next Saturday.
This morning, we're talking politics and more with Bill O'Reilly of the Fox News Channel. He's also a best-selling author of several books, including his latest, Killing Lincoln, and the upcoming Killing Kennedy. We're pleased to have him here. Welcome.
Charlie, how you doing?
Good to see you. Joe Biden, the vice president, said yesterday, I think it was, General Motors is alive and Bin Laden is dead.
Is that news?
No, but is that a theme of this campaign?
Yeah, I mean, those are two good things.
It touches economics and foreign policy, and it touches success on the part of the Obama administration.
Two good things the Obama administration did. Their bet on the car companies paid off, and they got Bin Laden, and we should all be happy about both of those things.
What is your advice? I know you don't give advice to presidential candidates.
Sure I do.
Of course, I knew that your response. What should Romney do now? Because you have also said that this guy is cool and Romney is not.
Well, Romney basically is going to channel Ronald Reagan. He's going to run the exact same campaign that Reagan ran in 1980 against Carter. He did it. He started this week with this, you're better off for it than you were 4 years ago. So I'm sure they're watching tapes right now of Reagan, how Reagan handled Carter, because it's almost the same. It's eerie. Bad economy, liberal president, gas prices through the roof. They had gas lines back in Carter. And here comes Romney. He looks like Reagan. He's got the hair going on. He's got the authority. He's a governor. It's eerie. So whatever Reagan did in 80, you can count on Romney doing this year.
But some have said that in fact is good advice, but that this nominee has been too negative and that he has to adopt a much more sunnier attitude and not be so shrill in the criticism.
Maybe that's true. I think he's got to go after Barack Obama because Obama is not Carter. Carter was kind of hapless. If you look at the tapes back then, he was just kind of hapless, almost defeated. Barack Obama is not defeated, and he's a much better campaigner. So I expect that it's going to be a nasty campaign. However, it's going to be done by surrogates. Romney's not going to do it, and Obama's not going to do it. They'll take their little jibes. But their PACs are going to go in, and they're just going to slaughter the opposition. So it's going to be very intense.
In terms of people helping out with the campaign, how involved do you see Rick Santorum being? Because the other night, he was asked by Piers Morgan a question. He really was sort of dancing around this issue of endorsing Mitt Romney. Didn't seem to want to say the word.
Well, I don't think Rick Santorum is going to have a big role in the campaign, number one. Number two, I think he'll endorse Mitt Romney. He has to if he wants to maintain that Republican connection. He has to do it. Does he like Romney? Probably not.
What does that say, though, about, we had talked so much about this in the last few months leading up to this point, about the seeming division within the Republican Party in terms of uniting behind someone and this division with conservatives as well. Is there still a concern there about conservatives and Romney?
Erica, they despise Barack Obama, they being the GOP, so much, okay? It doesn't matter who it is. They're going to vote against. The Republicans are going to vote against Barack Obama, not for somebody.
And they'll have the same enthusiasm if, in fact, there was a conservative candidate.
It doesn't matter. It's whatever you pull, whether you're pulling it hard or you're pulling it soft.
Well, there is a thing about enthusiasm and the ability to get all the people out.
The polls show that the Republican voter is more enthusiastic right now than the Democratic voter. That's all I know.
What do you think will be decisive, whether this is a referendum on the president or a referendum, as the president has said? This is what he said in a speech in Washington. We all covered it, and Romney followed the next day. Instead of moderating their views even slightly, Republicans running Congress right now have doubled down, Obama said, adding that he believes the proposal, talking about Ryan, is so far to the right it makes a contract with America look like the New Deal.
Okay, nobody's going to pay attention to any of that, all right? What's going to be decisive are the debates. The 3 debates. Whoever does better in the 3 will win. That's how close it's going to be.
And so far, who's the better debater?
It's hard to say. I mean, I've interviewed Barack Obama twice, and I got to tell you, the guy's quick. I've interviewed Mitt Romney maybe 4 times. The governor is much more studied, much more rehearsed.
Quick or study wins best?
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. But this week has been Romney's best week because all of that. I'm getting attacked by Gingrich, I'm getting attacked by this one, that one. That's all gone. He's much more confident. His speechwriters are good. Now, whether he can bring his A game up against a guy who's naturally quick, Obama, he's quick. I don't know.
If it becomes a referendum, the debate and everything else on the president,
He loses.
he loses.
He
per
loses
se, because of the economy.
Yeah, and the gas prices are killing people. That's pain that you feel, all right?
But they've been ticking down, as you know.
You can't tick down from $4. People just don't have the
they
jack.
are
They don't have the
ticking down
money.
from $4.
It doesn't
So-
make any difference. They tick down 2 cents. You're teed off. If it ticks down $1.25, maybe, but it won't.
But you could make the same case that people get just as ticked off if it goes up 2 cents or a nickel. So
All I know is, and I know there's these guys, is that people are angry when they go to the gas station. Okay? They're angry right now, and it's April. If they're angry in November, he loses.
do you believe the president can? You know, there's this ongoing debate within the country about can the president really do something about gas
Well, you
prices?
got to pass law against the
Can he not?
speculators.
So
You can't pass laws against
You believe
speculation.
a president and administration could make a significant difference when it comes to the prices we all pay at the pump?
If they pass laws against speculators, at least it shows he's doing something. Right now, it's like the BP oil spill. He's not doing anything. And people going, okay, do something. And he doesn't know what to do, Barack Obama. Look, people vote about emotion. They vote on emotion, most people. I mean, they're not analyzing what Paul Ryan's saying. And right now, they're teed off. And that's not a good thing for an incumbent president.
Well, you can make arguments having to do with what Paul Ryan's budget would do to individuals.
Who are you going to make that argument to,
To
Charlie?
America.
Yeah, okay. They're watching Dancing with Stars. You going to cut into that program and make that argument?
Well, Dancing to the Stars is up against you.
Tell me about it. People vote emotion.
And so, therefore, who can touch the emotion of where America is today
That's
will
right.
win the presidency.
Who can scare you the most or who can give you the most confidence will win.
All right. Let's talk about Abraham Lincoln.
Yes, best president ever.
And your book is #1.
For 30 weeks,
Is this
Joe.
about Bill O'Reilly or is this about Abraham Lincoln?
I wrote the book, Killing Lincoln, because I wanted to show America what true leadership is. Because we need true leadership. This isn't a party thing for me. I'm an independent. I selected Abraham Lincoln. I'm a history major because I admire the man and I know the pain that he went through to lead the country out of the division it was in and to win the Civil War. And I wanted to write it in a way that was accessible, that the people would read it. It's not 1,800 pages and you go, oh my God. It's 300 pages, and when you get through with it, you'll know Abraham Lincoln and you know the brutal things that he went through.
And what will we know about him?
You'll know that he was a man of courage, that he was an honest man, that he had a horrible life, that his children died, his wife was insane, but he all through it all, he alone kept it together. He kept it together, and that's true leadership.
Because he understood the essence of America and preserving the Union was essential.
That to him was more important than his own life. And when you see that kind of self-sacrifice that Abraham Lincoln made, and you see the heroism that he brought and the humility that he brought, he was such a humble man. You can't help but say, gee, I wish we had somebody like that now.
Do you see anybody who could ever fit that bill?
Nobody can be compared to Abraham Lincoln or George Washington or the icons. But I'm hoping that younger people will read the book and say, you know what? I want to be like Abraham Lincoln. I want to put my country first.
About you for a moment.
Uh-oh. Here we go.
You just signed another deal with Fox?
Yep.
Big deal for how many years?
I think it's 3 years. I'll be 87 at the end of that year. So retired now.
What is it that you think makes Bill O'Reilly connect and have this large cable audience? Are you #1 or is it Hannity? I can never figure out.
Oh, stop it, Rose. I mean, we're so far #1, you can't even. We dominate cable news, and I bring an authenticity. You either like me or you don't, and that's okay. I don't mind if you don't like me. But you know when I say something, I mean it. And I try to back it up with facts. And we're authentic. I haven't changed when I worked at Channel 2 here in New York. They hired me because I was a rough-hewn guy out of Levittown. I knew the area and I knew the city. I haven't changed. And people, I think, are looking for authenticity in a sea of phonies on television.
Do you see authenticity in Mitt Romney?
It's hard for me to say. I know the governor for a long time. I think he did a decent job in Massachusetts. Is he authentic? He's a politician.
Do you see authenticity in Barack Obama?
Somewhat, but again, he's a politician. You know, these guys are going to tell you what they think you want to hear. You know, are they bold and fresh like me? No. But they
bold as fresh as you.
No, that was an title of my other bestseller, Rose. I mean, are you going to fall asleep during this interview? Or,
no, are you?
Okay. I might. What time is it? My God.
You're lucky to be here, and we're pleased that you are here.
I am lucky to be here, and thanks for having me, and I appreciate it.
My friend. Great to see you.
Okay.